Hello, hello, hello. I am author and entrepreneur, the Cerebral Palsy Vigilante, Zachary Fennell. A while back, I was asked about my overall routine, what exercises I do, what foods I eat that have allowed me as I've gotten older still to kind of feel like I'm at my best physically. And I've held off on answering that reply or come up with a piece of content for that reply because it just really felt like one piece of content wasn't going to be able to answer it. It was overwhelming. Instead of trying to explain all the different things I do, I just figured, you know, let me show you. So today I'm going to show you one of the three. I'm taking you along for the ride as I show you one of the three main exercise routines I do. It doesn't really get into the food aspect of it. That could be another later another video later. It'll be content for another day. But for now, I'm going to start by showing you kind of like my hands and knees routine. A lot of this stuff I picked up in physical therapy. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give it a like. And here we go. It's time to shut the mouth and start to get physical. Start and just really you see from the side camera that let's see how I cut it together, but just really sitting back on my one foot and then doing some stretching to start. Staying on one side for a 10 count. Shifting over and 10 on the other side. And then do that for a total of 3 times. That's 3 on that side. Put that leg back up. Bring the left one back. Do the same thing on this side. And after I get it out of that, adjust my mat. What I do, kind of rotate the body. And then I do this way as well. Come back, sit on my heels, kind of like stay side to side for a couple. And then before I do that next activity, just practice keeping those shoulders, bringing those shoulders straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Two, three, four. Up next is what I think of in my head. I call them leg kicks. So hands and knees routine. So hands and knees position, and then just bringing that leg to the elbow and as straight as possible. Kick it behind me. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I do 6 on each side for these. So 6 on each side. Then to unwind my body, it's more of that rotating around to loosen up. Now, the other way. sit back on my heels. Same thing, just kind of taking a moment to rest. But just working those, keep working on bringing shoulders back. Now we go for a second round, or second set of those leg kicks. Same amount, second set of 6. That first one wasn't too good. I felt my toe graze the ground. Coming out of the hands and knees position. Do more of that rotating the body. Loosen up. One way 3 times. The other way 3 times. Back on my heels. Everything I've showed you so far just gives me a really good stretch, within my legs. Really combating that spasticity caused by cerebral palsy. Except, then the leg kicks, they're good for me maintaining range of motion. So it's good practice. Those leg kicks are good practice for, just range of motion, maneuvering that leg, keeping it as mobile and agile as possible. And earlier I said, for me, it gives me a good stretch. And I say that because, of course, everyone's cerebral palsy is different. And what I'm showing you today works for me, may not work for you. Maybe it will, though. So I don't know. Just makes it. Someone asked me about the exercise routines I do and just how I've been able to feel like, getting into my 30s and yet still feel like I'm in the best shape of my adult life. And so, instead of trying to explain in a wordy blog post or try to give a visualization in just a video where I'm just me sitting in my chair in front of a camera, I figured, let me show you. As this is my hands and knees routine. I have other videos showing my other routines coming up eventually. This was the easiest one to film. So what's next for me is, now that I've got both sides of my leg kicks done, is just kind of like balancing. I'm not usually filming myself when I do this, so I have this door closed normally, and so I gotta make sure I have the space to bring my arm up. So the first one is, so, alright, I'm off guy for a second because I'm trying to think how I normally do this. I just do it instead of talk and think about it. So, opposite arm and leg up in the air in order to work on balance. So if I'm putting my right arm, so put my left arm in the air, bring up my right leg. Sounds a lot simpler. Sounds very simple. For some reason, it took me a second to figure it out. I do these on autopilot, so it's just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that's my easy side. I held it for a count of 20. Depending on the day, sometimes I have more trouble with it. I might have to do like more of a count of 2, 10, and 15. But this side is the one I have, like I said, more trouble with. I have to really focus on trying to keep my hip and my right leg at kind of like a 90-degree angle. Whew. As you probably could tell from the way my body was shaking there, that side is a lot harder for me. But sometimes, again, that side I do 10. I have to go back, like, all right, let's give myself another good 10 or whatever. But I was able to, find myself and maintain that for 20 seconds. And now instead of doing what I have done previously, come out hands and knees position, I just kind of go forward almost in push-up position, but not quite. My legs are on the ground. And this, which you should be able to see from the back camera. And I just just kind of like rotate back and forth. Kind of works out any tension I felt in any tension that builds up in my back as I'm doing that balancing, one leg, one arm balancing. We're gearing towards the end of my hands and knees routine here. What's next is trying to think the best way to show it. I usually turn and face this way when I do it, so that's why I want to move, keep adjusting this my exercise mat. So, but I obviously want you to be able to see the front. So what I do is it's bringing this one leg up. As you can see with my right side, I struggle. I have to bring my hand up and then hands back down. You gotta keep the palms flat on the mat, and then just push that knee over the toes. So I'm counting to 10, bring the knee back, and then bring the knee back over those toes, keeping my hands flat on the mat. That's what maintains such a good stretch here. Counting to 10. So I usually do a set of 3, which was just that. Bring my other side up, my left side, other side. Do the same thing. Not as bad on this side for me. Obviously, you saw I was able to bring my leg up without having to take my hand off the mat. My palms are not as tempted to lift off. and excuse me. I think that was the third one. I can do a second set of just 2. Again, getting that leg up in this position is difficult for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, only twice on the second set. And my left side, you guys can probably tell from watching, doesn't really need the same amount of work. But my physical therapist from back in the day when I was growing up told me in college that because my left side doesn't need that same amount of work, doesn't mean I should do less on it, because then I won't be, that's doing a disservice to that strong side. So that whatever I do to the right side, I should also do with the left side. Then a second time, I'm just coming forward. Relieving the tension that was built up in the prior positions. Back on my heels. From a pure CP therapeutic standpoint, that's what ends my hands and knees routine. I always, as kind of a reward for myself for doing one of my PT exercise routines, the reward, what I do, and in addition to feeling the reward of my body just feeling nicer, is I'll do some muscle building activities, whether that's push-ups or, sometimes downstairs I have a pull-up bar. I do pull-ups and chin-ups. Maybe you've seen some of my exercise montage videos. A lot of that stuff. I can link to those exercise montage videos in the description of this video. They're a shorter version. You'll see some of what I've done here today in this video, in that video. If you like those videos, you like this video, and you want to see more videos from me, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. And click that bell icon to make sure that when I put out a new video, you receive a notification that a new video is out from the Cerebral Palsy Vigilante. I'm going to go ahead now and go, I'm going to, I'm going to stick around and let you guys kind of see, let's see, what do I feel like doing today as some muscle building? I think we'll start with some push-ups. nice and straight. It's a set of 5. If you've been enjoying the workout music I have on in the background, that is my copyright-free music exercise playlist that I created particularly for this video today, because I always put music on when I'm exercising, and I don't want any copyright infringement issues going on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go to YouTube, check out their music selection, pull some of these, you know, songs out, and just make myself a copyright-free workout playlist. Some of the songs may actually sound familiar to you if you, for longtime viewers on my channel. One of the songs earlier that, you know, was the hip hop rap kind of tone. There's been a couple, but one of them was actually used in my If Eminem Had Cerebral Palsy impersonation video. And I try to put out a lot of fun content. I try to listen to you guys when you leave your comments for stuff you want to see. There one time someone's like, "Oh, can you show us how?" Like, you know, they basically wanted to see me walk, and so I brought my camera outside and I walked up and down my driveway, you know, as a request. This video again, it goes into someone asked, like, a viewer asked, "What particularly do you do exercise wise?" You know, and it was part of a larger question of just overall what I eat, to that leaves me feeling like the strongest I've ever been. Hold that thought. I feel like it's ready for round 2 or set 2 of the push-ups. Whew. Did you tell on those last 1 or 2 it took some work. So what I do, like I said, so that's one of my 2 muscle building exercises that I reward myself with for doing the more, I guess, boring, or not boring, but the not so fun kind of exercises you have to do just to combat the everlasting spasticity cerebral palsy brings. So again, just taking a minute or two to let your body, bring itself down from that last exercise. And what I'm about to do next is something that I've done a video on it before. My reverse crunches. This is a big part of what's helped me feel a lot stronger with reverse crunches or the reverse crunches, because when I started doing them on a daily basis, I was like strengthening my core so much that when I'd be out training for whether it was a half marathon at a time, or when I was training for a marathon, or going to be training for a marathon, because my plan is to do a marathon again here in 2020. From doing the reverse crunches, I found myself taking a step, losing my balance, and catching myself, and thinking, in the past I would have fallen. And that's something that I used to do daily. I'll be honest, I kind of fell out of doing it daily. I need to get back into doing it daily. So right now, but I always for sure when I'm exercising, I always do the reverse crunches in between whatever two muscle building exercises I'm doing. So just now I did the push-ups. So now I'll be able to grab my pillow in a second and do the crunches. There was a time where I was doing like 40 every day, and I think I kind of overworked myself because I was struggling. So right now I'm back down to doing 15 whenever I can, or whenever I need to get myself back in that daily routine of doing them. But right now when I'm doing them, I'm doing a set of 15. Better 15. I know 15 sounds like way down from 40, but it's better 15 than not doing them. So I can always build myself back up. And sometimes too, I'm like, maybe I overwork myself at that point. So I think I'm gonna do it this way, and that camera should be able to catch me. The finished product you guys are gonna see should be nice and smooth sailing. I just have two cameras set up. The one, obviously, my head is to the back of right now, and then a second camera off to the side behind me, and I'll be got a lot of editing to do to put together make this the best possible video for you. So, laying on my back, my hands are beneath my butt, flat on the ground, and the reverse crunches. You're bringing the legs up to meet the chin. Your abdomen muscles, abdominal muscles, core muscles. 1, 2. quantity. It's funny when the music stops, how much harder everything gets. One more. I work up a sweat doing those. You heard me kind of mumble. What did I mumble? Quality over quantity. That's something. When I was doing like 40 a couple of years ago, after working up from doing them daily, I was doing 40, but like the last half of those were not very. They didn't have the quality to them. They were just, and I'd always like, it's important with fitness. This much I feel comfortable telling, I feel like applies flat out, is when you're doing something with exercise, it's better to do quantity, or no, it's better to do fewer at a quality rate where it's done the way it's supposed to be done versus doing quantity and then losing that the way it should be done. Because when you go for quantity, then you start risking injury if the quality's not there. Listen to me giving out exercise advice like I'm a personal trainer, right? Or something. I'm not. Just so you guys know that. I put that disclaimer on other videos. And this is what I do. A lot of what I showed you today comes from physical therapy from when I was a kid, stuff I was doing physical therapy as a kid. So, all right. Question is, what do I want to end on? Let's do. If I stand up, I might have to move the camera back so you guys can see me when I stand up. Just gonna go use the bed to help get myself up, but I always like the challenge. This is actually something I do in my third routine is just practicing standing and getting off the ground without holding on to anything. All right. So I do a few different things with this. I think to end today, what we're going to do I'm standing on the rope with my feet. And just let's do one at a time. And here's another example where I used to do a lot more of these. Like right now, I'll probably end up doing 30 to 50. Probably 3, 4, 5. That was that 6. This will be 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 12. 12. 13. 16. 18. 18. 20. 2. 2. 6. 6. Starting to feel it. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 30. 30. 31. The other camera just died. 32. 2, but I'm glad it lasted as long as it did. 33, I wasn't using it for this part anyways. 33. Was that 32 or 33? We'll do 33 again, because I think that wasn't. That's 33 now. 34. 34. 35. 36. 36. 37. 37. 8, 8, 9, 9, 40, 42, 42. How riveting is this? 43, 3. Although I imagine if you're still watching at this point, you're already a subscriber of mine. And if you're not, you're watching at this point, so go ahead. I've talked about some of the other videos I've done. This is 46. 47. 47. 48. 48. 49. 49. 50. 50. This exercise video kind of doubles as a kind of like a making of a marathoner, because this stuff, not the muscle building, but all the exercise, the stretching stuff, range of motion stuff that I did before, is the basics is what led me to be able to complete 2 marathons, and my goal is to complete a marathon again this year, so I'll be a 3-time marathoner. Again, I kind of made a remark earlier that if you're still watching, like how riveting this must be that you're still watching, but you are still watching. Thank you so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see from me, if there's anything in particular, any topics you want me to tackle, anything else any requests, leave them in the comments section. Hit the like button, help muscle up this video and its views. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure that bell icon is hit so that you receive email notifications every time I release a new video. And as always, until next time, remember, don't blend in, blend out.